Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com the fourth week of July 2023. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any newspaper in America and beyond. Actress, singer, and dancer Pamela Blair died July 23, 2023 at her home in Phoenix. She died after a long illness at the age of 73. She originated the role of Val in a chorus line on Broadway, singing the funny song Dance 10, Looks 3. Blair is also being remembered for her roles on such soap operas as Loving, All My Children, and Another World. Comedian Ron Sexton died July 21, 2023, while on tour in Ohio at the age of 52. He was better known as Donnie Baker, the character he often played on The Bob and Tom Show. Sexton is being remembered for his catchphrases, I swear to God, and state law. A note to remember, sometimes personal information, such as someone's cause of death, is not announced immediately or publicly at all by their family or the authorities. Every family has a right to their privacy. Actress and singer Carlin Glynn died July 13, 2023, of cancer at the age of 83. She had a memorable role in 16 Candles, playing the mother of Molly Ringwald's character. Glynn is also being remembered as the real-life mother of actress Mary Stuart Masterson, as well as for the Tony Award she won for Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Football player Miller Farr died July 18, 2023 at the age of 80. He was a cornerback in the AFL and NFL, playing for such teams as the Denver Broncos, San Diego Chargers, and St. Louis Cardinals. Farr is being remembered as a three-time AFL All-Star during his years with the Houston Oilers in the 1960s. Architect Richard Barancik died July 14, 2023 in Chicago at the age of 98. He was a U.S. Army veteran of World War II, serving with the Monuments Men, the unit tasked with finding and preserving art and artifacts stolen during the war. Of approximately 400 Monuments Men, all of whom were honored with the Congressional Gold Medal, he was the last surviving. Barancik is also being remembered as an architect who designed several buildings in Chicago's skyline. Actress Josephine Chaplin died July 13, 2023 in Paris at the age of 74. She had roles in such movies as The Canterbury Tales, Escape to the Sun, and Jack the Ripper. Chaplin is also being remembered as the daughter of actor and filmmaker Charlie Chaplin, managing the Chaplin office in Paris after his death. Civil rights activist Catherine Burks-Brooks died July 3, 2023 in Birmingham, Alabama. She died of heart failure at the age of 83. She was one of the Freedom Riders who rode interstate buses into the South in the 1960s, campaigning for the enforcement of anti-segregation laws. Burks-Brooks is being remembered for her dedication to anti-racist activism in the face of arrest and violence. Singer Vince Hill died July 21, 2023, at his home in Henley-on-Thames, England, at the age of 89. He had a 1967 hit in his native England with Edelweiss, a cover of the song from The Sound of Music. He is also being remembered for hosting TV shows like The Young Generation and Vince Hill at the Club. Hill was a veteran of the Royal Corps of Signals. Journalist George Alagiah died July 24, 2023 of cancer at the age of 67. He hosted the UK's widely watched BBC News at 6 from 2007 until 2022. Alagiah is being remembered as a well-respected journalist who was honored as an Officer of the Order of the British Empire. Football player Johnny Lujack died July 25, 2023 in Florida. He died after a brief illness at the age of 98. He was a star quarterback at Notre Dame in the 1940s when he won the 1947 Heisman Trophy. He was the oldest living Heisman Trophy winner before his death. He is also being remembered for his professional career with the Chicago Bears. Lujack was a U.S. Navy veteran of World War II, having interrupted his college career to serve. NHL executive Rocky Wirtz died July 25, 2023, at a hospital in Evanston, Illinois. He died after a brief illness at the age of 70. He was the owner of the Chicago Blackhawks since 2007, turning a struggling team into three-time Stanley Cup champions. Wirtz is being remembered for rejuvenating the Blackhawks by getting their home games aired on local TV and bringing back great players from past years as team ambassadors. Screenwriter Bo Goldman died July 25, 2023 in Helendale, California at the age of 90. He won Academy Awards for his screenplays for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Melvin and Howard. He is also being remembered for his screenplays for such movies as The Rose, Shoot the Moon, and Scent of a Woman. Goldman was a U.S. Army veteran who served for 3 years in the 1950s. Singer and songwriter Sinéad O'Connor died July 26, 2023, at her home in London at the age of 56. She had a smash hit in 1990 with Nothing Compares to You, as well as other singles like Mandinka and The Emperor's New Clothes. O'Connor is being remembered for her strong commitment to her political views, which she shared on an infamous episode of Saturday Night Live and throughout her life. Musician Randy Meisner died July 26, 2023 in Los Angeles. He died of complications from COPD at the age of 77. He was a founding member of the Eagles, playing bass and singing high backing vocals until his departure from the band in 1977. Meisner is being remembered as one of the Eagles' great songwriters. He co-wrote Take It to the Limit, and he sang lead vocals on the track. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 10 years ago this week, actor and former police officer Dennis Farina died at the age of 69. He starred in such TV shows and movies as Law and Order, Crime Story, and Midnight Run. 10 years ago this week, actress Eileen Brennan died at the age of 80. Her many movies included The Last Picture Show, Private Benjamin, and Clue. 11 years ago this week, astronaut Sally Ride died at the age of 61. In 1983, she became the first American woman in space when she flew on the Space Shuttle Challenger. 12 years ago this week, singer Amy Winehouse died at the age of 27. Her album Back to Black and hit song Rehab won her 5 Grammy Awards. 20 years ago this week, actor and comedian Bob Hope died at the age of 100. He was known for his road movies with his friend Bing Crosby and for 50 years of touring the world and entertaining the troops with the USO. 39 years ago this week, singer and songwriter Big Mama Thornton died at the age of 57. She sang blues and R&B that helped lay the groundwork for rock and roll, including her recording of Hound Dog 4 years before Elvis Presley made it a hit. Chicago teen Emmett Till was born 82 years ago this week. He was lynched in 1955 in Mississippi at the age of 14. This week it was announced that a new national monument will be dedicated to him and the profound influence his murder had on the civil rights movement. Actress Estelle Getty was born 100 years ago this week. She died in 2008, 15 years ago this week, at the age of 84. She won a Golden Globe and an Emmy Award for her starring role on The Golden Girls. Senator Bob Dole was born 100 years ago this week. He died in 2021 at the age of 98. He represented Kansas in the U.S. Senate for more than 25 years, and he was a prominent presidential candidate in 1996. Author and illustrator Jan Berenstain was born 100 years ago this week. She died in 2012 at the age of 88. With her husband Stan, she wrote dozens of children's books in the beloved Berenstain Bears series. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in South Dakota have been lowered to honor the memory of former state legislator Edwin W. Olson, Jr. Flags in Wisconsin have been lowered to honor the memory of former state representative Michael Ensley. Flags in Kentucky have been lowered to honor the memory of U.S. Navy Seaman First Class Elmer P. Lawrence. He was killed in 1941 in the attack on Pearl Harbor, and his remains were recently identified and returned home for burial. Flags in Alabama have been lowered to honor the memory of Birmingham firefighter Jordan Melton. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.